Hey, welcome back. We are going to go into part 2.2, which is here, which is this one, and I'm going to go and restart. And it gives us a little bit of an animation at the top here as to what is going to happen. Now, we don't have an animation on our A button, so we know that this is what we are kind of aiming for. So I'm going to go and restart with, I might keep my code this time. However, I may have things, I might start afresh. Let's see what happens if we start afresh. Here we are, this is what we're going to make. Remember that if you are working in another language, you can always hit this and you can go to a new language. So it's kept my code from the session I was in just a moment ago, because I know that I'd been playing around with it in another time. So let's go and hit next. We know that this workspace is working. Click next when you're ready to edit the game. We are ready to edit the game. Now, sprites, what are we going to get? So from sprites, let's go and set my sprite to kind of player and put it to the bottom of the start menu. Click at the grey square. So we already know about the grey square. And this time it says my assets. So we want to go to my assets, okay? And let's go and grab my assets, and we want an A up button. Let's go and see what that looks like and say that's already in the up position. Click on the hint, see what we've got. Yes, that's what we've got. So I'm going to hit next. From the sprites, grab the blue My Sprites image, a little grey square here, and snap it to the bottom of the A container. Ooh, so this looks rather interesting. This time I'm going to get our sprite to look like this, but it looks like, it says here, click the grey toggle to my asset and choose a button in the down position, which makes sense. Because when I hit the button and it's pressed, it needs to go into the down position, which kind of makes sense. So let's go into my sprite and set sprite image to and put it at the bottom of this. Now we want an image in my assets with the A button down. Done. There we are. So I suppose, looking in the hints, we can see whether this is going to work or not. Hopefully it is, because when we try it now, we should. But what we want is, when I hit the A button, it stays down. We want it to be popping back up again. So I wonder if there's a reverse, there's an inverse, there's an opposite to my A button pressed. Drag another A button pressed. Ooh. Into the empty space of the workspace, change pressed to released. So I think you can see what's going to happen here. When we release, the button is supposed to go, my sprite is going to look like it's going to go up. So here, put a image block inside my toggle and toggle the assets, and this time we want it up. Yes, we kind of thought that was going to happen. So let's go and grab a sprite image and go to the block here and go and grab my assets. And we want it in the up position, don't we, so that it's going to come back up again. Now if you notice something, if I go and take my face away, because I just realized that we can't see the block behind me like this, you'll notice that in that block, as I drag it in, the container is grayed out. And what this is telling us is that there is a conflict between the two, okay? The conflict between the two is that they are both pressed down. So it's telling us that this is kind of going a little bit strange. And that strangeness is really about the conflicts in the button A pressed. So if we put it into released, hopefully it should come back to life like that. So above me, I've got my press button, and then inside my A button, which is on the other side over there, I'm going to do the reverse of my camera. You'll notice that the A button is now released. So we should be able to go and play this now. We can go and check that this is what we've got. Yes, got it released. So we'll be able to test it now with the A button actually moving. So if you think about this in a game situation, in those assets that we have, in those gallery assets that we have, you can see that we've got lots of characters that do lots of things at once, and they have different motions. So when you hit the A button or the B button, you actually want them to be able to look like they're animated, so they look realistic. Okay. Right, I'm going to come back to this in the next clip to show you how this finishes, so you can follow along. As always, good luck, and I'll see you in the next clip.